Welcome to Fox 54 News at 6. I'm Kenesha Dees. One of our most bitter cold days yet this fall. Weather is where we start. Keeping our eyes on the sky from Huntsville International. That's what we're looking at right now. This is from earlier today. Beautiful morning. You can see mostly clear sky right at the bottom there. A little bit of cloud cover. We see some of that earlier this morning. Let's bring in Fox 54 Weather Impact Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Jordan, it has been one of our more chilly days so far this fall.
The chilliest day so far this fall. Temperatures only climbed into the upper 30s and lower 40s this afternoon. I really like that video from earlier today at the Huntsville International Airport. It proves that at some point today, we actually did get to enjoy a fair amount of sunshine before the cloud cover built in as we got into the later part of the morning, early into the afternoon, and really just kind of ruined the vibe for this Monday. And we're going to stick with the cold air and the wind chills as we head into the evening. 34 feels like 27 in Huntsville. 34 feels like 26 right now over in Florence. Just as cold feeling over in Fort Payne. 33 feels like 23 degrees right now over in Fort Payne. And then 34 feels like 25 right now in Fayetteville up in southern Middle Tennessee. We're going to maintain the breezy conditions as we head into the overnight, which means we're also going to maintain the wind chill to some extent. Now, I do believe the wind chills are going to begin to back off a little bit as we head into the earliest hours of your Tuesday morning, but at least through the early part of the overnight, we're going to maintain the elevated wind chills. Air temperatures dropping off into the lower 20s across the Tennessee Valley. We could end up breaking a couple of records across the area. I believe the record low temperature at Huntsville International is 22, and I believe over in the Shoals, the record low temperature is like 18 or 19 degrees. Wind chills as we head into the early part of your Veterans Day morning, mid and upper 20s across the Tennessee Valley. Veterans Day itself is going to remain chilly, but then we get some warmer air to build back into the Tennessee Valley. We'll talk about both in just a couple of minutes.
1034, possibly two subjects hit 1301 Alabama Avenue Northwest near the apartment. Have reports of multiple people down. Do have two subjects being reported down inside an apartment. We're trying to get the apartment number.
Got two individuals down, one male, one female, multiple shots fired.
What you just heard is scanner traffic from an incident that has left a community shocked and outraged. The shooting left two people dead, one person in custody. This happened in Fort Payne last night. Police say they received a call of shots fired around 6 p.m. in the 1300 block of Alabama Avenue. Many people taken to social media, Facebook, including the family of one of the victims, claiming the suspect had previously made numerous threats against the victim. Fox 54 digging into that suspect's troubling past. And our Logan Alexandra Russell spoke with neighbors today and shares what we found in our investigation.
This neighborhood is at a loss for words after police arrested Jacob Mitchum for the fatal shooting of Logan Brown and Alicia Keller in their home yesterday. Neighbors I spoke with today tell me that this neighborhood is very peaceful and that this is the last thing that they would expect to happen in their backyard. The Fort Payne Police Department says officers found the couple in the kitchen of their apartment. Officers performed CPR once on scene, but their attempts were unsuccessful. Officials say they received word that Mitchum was headed to Oxford. Oxford police arrested him and transported him back to Fort Payne Police Department, where he faces capital murder. Residents of Fort Payne are in disbelief. One neighbor who was next door when the shooting happened says gunshots were the last thing on their mind.
I was sitting here on the phone, playing on the phone, and heard shots, and it sounded like somebody was using a hammer right next door behind this wall right here. And I walked upstairs to my son-in-law and my daughter and asked them if they was using a hammer, and they said no. Well, I thought the neighbors was hanging up pictures, and come to find out, it was something totally different.
No kids were in the apartment at the time of the shooting. Records show that in July of 2020, Keller received a protective order for her and a child against Mitchum. That document required Mitchum to surrender his firearms to law enforcement. The courts terminated the protective order in August of this year, but the reason for the termination is unclear. The investigation is still ongoing and a motive is not known at this time. In Fort Payne, Logan Alexandra Russell, Fox 54 News.
Mitchum does have an existing criminal record, including convictions on drug counts and criminal mischief. He's now held at the DeKalb County Detention Center. One man we've learned is behind bars in Tuscumbia. He's accused of making threats targeting Deschler High School. We have new information on the story that we broke on Fox 54 Friday night. The arrest comes after protests and online discussions focus on the case of August Borden. 15-year-old football player who suffered serious injuries on August 19th. But police say these comments went too far. Tuscumbia police arrested 47-year-old Robert Bowman following some social media posts and videos that authorities say alarmed students and staff, prompting canceled activities and heightened safety measures at the school. Police say they made the arrest to keep the Deschler High School community safe from any threat of violence. Fox 54's Caleb Aguayo gives us the details.
In the wake of protests and social media chatter here at Deschler High School, Tuscumbia police arrested Robert Bowman on Friday for allegedly making terroristic threats against the school. The alleged threats came from social media videos of Bowman recording himself driving around Deschler High School and its football stadium. In the videos, Bowman is accused of saying things like, quote, "I have something else planned if the cops don't kill me first," end quote. An affidavit from police investigators also claims Bowman was yelling from his vehicle. Some students and faculty took that as a threat, canceling a cross-country practice and locking themselves inside the stadium. And court documents say that the alleged threats made people fearful that he would escalate to violence. The police department considered the arrest beforehand, consulting with the FBI and the county sheriff's office before taking Bowman in Friday night. He's still in jail today with a bond set at $10,000. Chief Tony Logan with TPD tells me it's an ongoing case, but he says Bowman's arrest was to keep everyone safe at the Deschler High School football game on Friday.
The main thing was he was driving by the school while he was posting videos. And, you know, you couldn't really tell a whole lot of what he said, but it was pretty much that he was going to come back that night during the football game and maybe cause some potential trouble. So for the safety of everybody involved, the crowd, the kids, and everybody, we felt like that we needed to take some kind of action.
Bowman has a conviction from a prior arrest and was previously out on a suspended sentence. It's currently unclear if he can be released from the county jail before a parole revocation hearing takes place. In Tuscumbia, I'm Caleb Aguayo, Fox 54 News.
Bowman is facing a first-degree charge for a Class C felony of making terroristic threats, the sentence for which ranges from 2 to 10 years. We'll have more for you as the case progresses. Huntsville police have shared new details about the shooting that took place near the Bridge Street Town Center parking garage Saturday. Investigators say one person shot at another but missed, hitting an occupied car instead. Here's video of that scene on Saturday. No one involved was hurt, thankfully, and the garage only had minor damage. Police say it was an isolated incident and there's no ongoing threat to the public. Anyone with information is asked to contact Huntsville Crime Stoppers at 256-532-7463 or Investigator Carlisle at 256-427-7291.
8 Democrats joined Republicans last night to take the first step to reopen the government. And in the very near future, we will be voting on a final package, a clean continuing resolution until January the 30th, and 3 bipartisan full-year appropriations bills. We will be voting on the final package in the very near future, and I'm hoping that will be hours and not days.
The Senate is taking procedural votes to finalize a deal to end the government shutdown. The bill cleared a key vote Sunday night when 8 Democrats crossed the aisle in final passage, expected later tonight. The package includes full-year funding for federal agencies, agriculture amendments, and a separate vote on health care tax credits by mid-December. Alabama Senator Katie Britt said last night she voted to reopen the government, calling the now 41-day shutdown, quote, finally nearing an end. Senators expected to compress voting timelines tonight, with final passage anticipated before it heads to the House and then to the president's desk.
The Senate is working to finalize a legislative package to end the 40-day government shutdown, with funding extended through January 2026. The bill would cover key federal programs like SNAP, WIC, and Veteran Services, and reopen agencies that have been closed or operating with limited staff. Despite progress in Washington, many families in North Alabama have already felt the impact. Delays in benefits and paychecks have left some struggling to make ends meet. With lawmakers close to ending the shutdown, there's some relief on the horizon. But food banks here in North Alabama say recovery may take time because some families are already playing catch-up.
People are still going to need us to get through the holidays. A lot of people's finances have been disrupted. A lot of people have taken on more debt and have missed bills. We know that a lot of people have probably taken out loans. A lot of people are probably behind on different, utility payments, different bill payments. So, we know that most people tend to budget food last. So people make their bill payments, people pay for their rent or their mortgage or their car, and then whatever's left over, that's what they're spending on food. And so we know it's still going to be a tight few weeks, maybe month for the people that we're serving.
The Food Bank of North Alabama says demand has been steady throughout the shutdown, and they expect that need to continue well into the holiday season. In Huntsville, I'm Valentina Chalala, Fox 54 News.
The food bank says donations and volunteers are crucial right now as they work to keep shelves stocked through the holidays. Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville said of the government shutdown ending today, quote, as I predicted, Democrats magically came up with the votes to reopen the government after the off-year elections on Tuesday. But make no mistake, this was an unmasking moment for the Democratic Party. He also says that they will pay the price in the midterms, end quote. Food stamp recipients in Alabama will see less money this month. The federal government ordered a 35% cut to SNAP benefits over the weekend. How much your family loses depends on your household size. State officials say they are working to update their computer systems and hope to send out the smaller checks by the end of this week. But they're warning there could be technical delays. A special salute happening in the Tennessee Valley to honor our veterans. We've got a roundup of events where you can pay your respects in just a few. And it's that time of year, season of giving, where one group hopes to have a toy under every Christmas tree this year for kids. Details on how you can help Toys for Tots up ahead. An investigation underway after authorities say a 17-year-old from Athens was killed after the pickup truck they were driving left the road and hit a light pole. This was last night. The teen, identified by Limestone County Coroner Mike West as Jeremiah Scott. The crash happened on Alabama 99 near Patterson Hill Road around 9:51 last night when Scott's 2004 Chevy Silverado left the road and hit a utility pole. Authorities say he was not wearing a seatbelt at the time of the crash and was pronounced dead at the scene. Huntsville police are investigating a hit and run that left a cyclist injured this morning. According to police, the incident happened overnight around 12:30. The victim was found on the southbound on-ramp from University Drive to Research Boulevard. The cyclist was taken to a nearby hospital where they remain for treatment. Traffic Homicide Unit is leading the active investigation. Food Bank of North Alabama and One Gen Away team up this Veterans Day to help those impacted by the government shutdown. Tomorrow, families across North Alabama can pick up free groceries from 2 drive-through food distributions. It's from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Toyota Field in Madison and also Milton Franks Stadium in Huntsville. Volunteers still needed, though. For information on how to sign up, go to fox54.com. Communities across North Alabama are coming together to honor our nation's heroes this Veterans Day. In Huntsville, events start with the Veterans Breakfast at the Roundhouse from 8 to 9:30 a.m., followed by, of course, the Veterans Day Parade downtown. The pre-show starts at 10:30 and the parade steps off at 11:11 a.m. You can also stop by the U.S. Veterans Memorial Museum from 10 to 4 for free tours and refreshments, or visit Stove House for the RCW 2025 parade, celebrating service with community spirit. Over in Athens, the Veterans Day Parade begins at 11 a.m., honoring those who've proudly served. Drivers in downtown Huntsville should plan ahead for tomorrow. Huntsville's annual Veterans Day Parade will shut down several streets and cause some traffic delays. The parade's set to start on Monroe Street at 11 near the Huntsville-Madison County Veterans Memorial, move through Big Spring Park and past the VBC, ending near Cliff Avenue and Heart of Huntsville Drive. The street closure will go in phases starting at 8 a.m. Do expect full closures by 10:30 with everything reopened by 1 p.m. That time, registration now open for this year's Toys for Tots Assistance Program. Families in Marshall and Jackson counties can apply online through Saturday. However, those in Madison and Limestone counties must register in person from today through Saturday. Toy distribution will be from December 17th to the 20th, and organizers say they need toys for kids of all ages by December 13th. If you aren't able to shop, donations are also welcome. For information and a list of toy drop-off locations, go to FOX54.com. We do have a scam alert. The City of Madison Municipal Court is warning residents about a new phone scam. Scammers are pretending to be from the Madison County Jail, claiming people have active warrants and even asking for payment over the phone. Officials stress the City of Madison Court will never ask for money by phone. If you get one of these calls, don't share personal or financial information. Instead, contact the court directly at 256-772-5617 to verify any claim. Well, check this out. A state park in North Alabama getting a much-needed revamp. We'll tell you how and where in just a few. Jordan, that chill has come in.
Yeah, and it's going to stick around with us as we head into most of your Veterans Day, though we are going to begin to see some improvement across the Tennessee Valley. We'll talk about it in just a minute.
With your certified most accurate forecast, this is a Fox 54 Weather Impact Alert.
And And this is a look from Fort Payne earlier today. Now, this is different than what we saw closer to us here in Madison County. Here, we could see a lot of cloud cover, and it just looks cold out there.
It does, doesn't it?
Yes.
You know, it's just one of those days when you look at that and you're like, yeah, that is cold.
Yeah, it's good to know, though, that there were some moments throughout the day where the sky opened up, like earlier we saw at Huntsville International Airport. Lots of blue.
Yes, and it was nice to at least look at the blue, even though the blue was incredibly deceiving. I think you will be pleased to know I finally turned on my heat.
You caved, he caved.
I did. I made it absolutely nowhere near to the Thanksgiving goal.
Oh boy, yeah, it was in the 20s.
Yeah, no, it was in the 20s. Most of us dropped into the mid and upper 20s late last night, early this morning. And with temperatures dropping into the mid and upper 20s late last night, early this morning, brings an abrupt halt to the growing season across the Tennessee Valley. And with an end to the growing season also means we're done talking about freeze warnings across the Tennessee Valley. The National Weather Service office here in Huntsville only issues freeze warnings when we're still talking about the growing season, when there's going to be some sort of a large impact to agriculture. But now that we ended the growing season late last night, early this morning, that large impact to agriculture now comes to an abrupt halt. So we won't begin to see freeze warnings return to the Tennessee Valley until next spring. 34 feels like 28 right now at the Huntsville International Airport. Feels like 34, feels like 33 in Pulaski. 34 feels like 27 over in Florence, and then 33 feels like 23 degrees right now over in Fort Payne in northeast Alabama. The wind should begin to back off a little bit as we head into the overnight, but in some regard, I think we're going to keep it around at least for the next 4 or 5 hours. Still going to be incredibly cold as we head into the overnight. Temperatures going to drop into the lower 20s across the Tennessee Valley. In some cases, I think we could drop into the upper teens. At this point, we're talking about record-breaking cold across the area. I believe the current record at the Huntsville International Airport is like 22, and over in the Shoals, I want to say it's like 18 or 19 degrees. Wind chills as we head into your Tuesday morning, low and mid 20s across the Tennessee Valley. The wind is really going to begin to back off as we head into the Tuesday morning commute, and then continue to back off as we head into Tuesday afternoon. So definitely some good news there, because we're still going to be chilly as we head into your Veterans Day. 29 at 8, 43 by 11, 50 by 2 p.m., 46 as we head into the early part of the evening. And it looks like that's where many of us are going to finish the day, right around 50 degrees. So still well below where we should be this time of year. The average high temperature right around 65 or 66 degrees, but we're at least going to be warmer on Veterans Day compared to what we saw today. We also get to enjoy plenty of sunshine, so it's going to even look better as we head into your Veterans Day. Now, we're also going to begin to see a lot of improvement as far as low temperatures are concerned. By the time we get to Wednesday morning, we're talking about low temperatures in the upper 30s. Through Thursday, Friday, low temperatures continuing to climb into the 40s. And then by the time we get to Saturday, Sunday, we're talking about low temperatures in the low and mid 50s. Those numbers can't get here soon enough, because the kids are going to be cold tomorrow morning. 24 at 7, 29 by 8. They're going to want to bundle up, and you're going to want to bundle up yourself. 35 by 9, 40 degrees by 10 a.m. with plenty of sunshine. So it's at least going to look nice, and then temperatures climb into the upper 40s, lower 50s tomorrow afternoon. As we head into your Wednesday, we get much closer to where we should be this time of year. Temperatures climbing into the mid 60s, maybe the lower 60s across far northeast Alabama, Jackson, DeKalb, and Marshall counties, but everywhere else going to climb into the mid and upper 60s. If we look at the long-term forecast, and that's a period of time beyond the next 7 days, heading into the middle and later part of November, there's about a 50 to 60% chance that we're going to be talking about above average temperatures. Have a good look at the next 7 days, maintaining the FOX54 weather impact alert day. That's mostly valid just for Tuesday morning, to account for the fact that it is going to be incredibly cold tomorrow morning. After that, we climb to 50 degrees with plenty of sunshine. But then we rapidly begin to warm up as we head into Wednesday and Thursday. 65, 67 respectively, plenty of sunshine both Wednesday, Thursday. We hold on to the sunshine as we head into Friday, Saturday. No real opportunities for rain through the forecast period until we get to Sunday and Monday of next week. Friday really going to be great, 71. Saturday going to be just as nice, 72. 73 on Sunday, 65 degrees by the time we get to next Monday.
Well, check this out. Northwest Shoals Community College is offering a new scholarship to help students train as pharmacy technicians. The RX Ready Scholarship is open to students from Colbert, Franklin, Lauderdale, Lawrence, and Winston counties, part of the college's push to expand healthcare career opportunities in the Shoals region. Even if students don't receive the scholarship, they can still enroll in the program. The college hosting interest meetings on November 18th at 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. on the Shoals campus, where attendees can learn about program requirements, how to apply, and enrollment steps. Joe Wheeler State Park is getting a major upgrade with the new state-of-the-art accessible playground. The project will receive $200,000 total from 3 foundations with a total cost of nearly $450,000. The playground is part of a series of renovations across Alabama parks after an $80 million bond was approved in 2022. Additional support from local individuals and corporate donors are needed. Donations can be made online. Nick, what's new with sports?
Kanisha, it was a great effort, but the Auburn Tigers came up short in the interim head coaching debut of DJ Durkin. We'll hear his post-game thoughts and discuss the loss next in sports.
FOX54 Sports is sponsored by Alpha Insurance.
Auburn showed a lot of fight in DJ Durkin's interim head coaching debut, but the result is still a loss. Good evening and welcome to sports. I mean, you can do the math. It's pretty simple. Hugh Freeze was fired last Sunday, and the Tigers played on Saturday, meaning interim head coach DJ Durkin had just 5 days to get his guys ready for a ranked road game in Nashville. When you consider what the Tigers were up against, the effort was pretty impressive. Auburn gave Vanderbilt all they could handle, leading by as many as 14 points and matching their highest output versus a Power 4 opponent in terms of scoring this year. But just like has been the problem all season long, the Tigers coughed up the lead and lost, this time 45-38 in overtime. Still, there are positives for this coaching staff to work with during this week's bye.
First off, I just want to say that I'm really proud of Coach Nix and our offense and how they prepared these guys and what they did. You know, we laid out a plan earlier in the week of what we needed to get done, and I think credit goes to our players, our coaching staff for getting that done. I thought they did a really good job. Just great to see our guys' response. We talk a lot about response, and our guys, they did that. They kept battling. Sure, there was ups and downs throughout the entire game. We talked about it. There was going to be, and our guys never flinched. They really didn't. They flinched all the way to the last play. They battled.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive. After losing the lead, Auburn answered back with two Vandy scores with touchdowns of their own in the second half. Certainly, they were showing fight. The Tigers get the week off and are back in action next Saturday at home versus Mercer. That'll do it for sports at 6. Tonight at 9, we'll talk Alabama football plus 3 of our women's hoops teams in action, including Auburn. So hope you join us. Kanisha?
Yes, thank you, Nick. Coming up tonight at 9, 2 people dead, a suspect in custody, a community in shock. Fox 54's Logan Alexander Russell will have more on the deadly shooting in Fort Payne. And we'll have more on the government shutdown inching closer to an end. Fox 54's Valentina Chalala tells us how it'll impact us in the Tennessee Valley. Attorney General Steve Marshall shutting down a Coleman County wellness clinic after allegations patients were given unsafe weight loss drugs. We'll have more on that also tonight at 9.